MTV Cribs, check out how I'm living before they take it away from me. MTV Cribs, welcome to Mikasa Sukasa. Just giving you a short sample, not giving you the whole room, just a little play by play, piece by piece is what I will be showing you. This is the first piece, man. This is my lovely coat rack. Check it out, you guys. It's not just any coat rack. There is a story behind this coat rack. Let's talk about the coat rack in general. Look at this thing. It's not really the best built coat rack. I found this a hand me down, so to speak. It's really unbalanced, you guys. It's really unbalanced, as you can tell. I don't know who made this thing, but it's not really the most balanced piece of architecture here. The thing is, if you're gonna be hanging anything on this coat rack, it has to be perfectly balanced, like you see. Let's start at the bottom. We got a not a fancy bag, just a regular blue bag. Just one of those average blue. Oh my God, an average blue bag that you find on the streets. It's just good for those single use items. Sometimes you don't want a heavy bag on your back. You just want something light, something free. And, this bag is perfect for kind of weighing down some of those angles on the side here. If we scooch on over to the right, you see that we have a bow. Yes, right, you guys. This is where I hang my bow when I'm not using it. I really should get another bow, but while I'm at it, this is my only bow. It is a trusty bow. I like it. Behind the bow is the pouch that I use to hold my quivers. I know you can't see it now. You gotta use your imagination. Hold on, let me help you out with that. I'll take one arrow and I will transport it here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how that works. So you got your arrows and your quivers. This bag originally was not meant to hold arrows. This bag was meant to hold a tripod, but I don't need a bag for my tripod, so I converted this bag into an arrow bag. As you see, had to kind of tie the ends, make it a little bit shorter. It was too long, had to make it shorter. And now that it's shorter, it definitely fits. It works. Next up, we have this title. Uh, I have many titles, you guys. I'm a multi-time title holder, like virtuosa, so to speak. I might be the male virtuosa, which would make me the virtuoso. So that being said, I've held many fucking titles over my career. I have many titles currently as we speak. This title is the might be the most special of the titles, man, because as you see, unlike my other titles, which you will see in a future episode, this title is completely blank, no decoration. I'm thinking about adding some side panels in the Mirai, something that just simply says Mirai, maybe some time machines, maybe some DeLorean, so people can get the hint. But I'm going to leave the center plate very bare, very naked. Why? Because this title, you guys, is the Mirai World Championship. It's basically a title for the future. Anyone who holds this title is the champion of the fucking future, you guys. And I know there's a lot of disciplines around the world. There's a lot of there's a lot of yada yada yada. Some people say the future is written, it's determined. Some people say the future is undetermined. I'm an optimist. I like to give hope when hope is due. So this title is all about being unwritten. Like Natasha Bedingfield, unwritten. Staring, blah blah blah. You remember the song. So anyway, that's why there is no decoration on this title because it's unwritten. The future is whatever you make it, bro. Bam, do that shit. And at the very top, bada bing, bada boom. Oh my God, is it? Oh, you guys, these are my latest pair of fucking punching gloves, boxing gloves. I used to be a boxer, still a boxer sometimes, and that's a double entendre. I'm talking about boxes and but yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Ask the Chinese, they'll tell you about the Boxer Rebellion. Anyway, you guys, these are my boxing gloves. You guys, as you can tell, these gloves have been through some wars, some battles, man. If you can see, like, this glove in particular, there's just a giant freaking hole, where your knuckles should be. I could tell you at the sight of a full moon, I grow claws like Wolverine. Maybe I transform into a tiger, and maybe I could tell you this one time I was looking at a moon too hard. And my claws came out of my hands, ripped through the fucking gloves, and that's why there's a giant ass fucking hole. I could tell you that, or you guys, I could just tell you that instead of punching bags and heavy bags, I used to just punch metal steel beams. You know those steel beams that come out of the ground? They're metal, and you can just punch them, like punching brick walls and things of that nature. I could just tell you that too. Whichever way you want to spin it, that's your call. And yeah, this is my freaking Coatrack. It's very nice. As you can see, these gloves keep everything balanced. They're like two horns at the top. Look at that title, Champion of the Future. I like it. Because, the future is whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you make it, man. It's not yet to be determined. It's about choices, I guess. And I got the bag, I got the bow, and I got the quiver plus one arrow. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Coatrack of all Coatracks, the greatest Coatrack that has ever been made or assembled by moi. P.S. You guys, P.S. A little snippet about these gloves. These gloves were not that easy to find. I ordered them easily, but after using them, I retired these gloves and I left them in my temple. Once upon a time ago, you guys, I had a temple. There was like a Megazord. There was like, a tire kickstand. There was two casas, not one casa, two casa, mi casa, su casa. There was like a storage unit underneath the casas, man. There was like a metal fire extinguisher heavy bag. It was like a heavy bag, but it was made of metal and it was a fire extinguisher. There was so many more things, you guys, at my temple. However, you know how sometimes, nothing lasts forever, you guys. Time happens, hooligans happen, and my temple, like many temples, it was desecrated, you guys. But underneath the rubble is where the magic was, you guys. I had to dig, and I had to dig like a fucking gopher. But I finally found these gloves, you guys, and I got my gloves, and I was like, okay, you guys, I resurrected you from the dead. It's time to return to the new casa, So, that's the story behind these gloves. These are they're not ordinary gloves, you guys. They're like resurrection gloves, man. I had to dig from a grave to revive these guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun in the future, yada, 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 yada. P.S. It was probably the Spice Boys who desecrated the temple. Kami, look out. Remember the Spice Boys? Remember? For those of you who don't remember the Spice Boys or do not know who the Spice Boys are, remember way back in I think it was maybe age 700, maybe something. Don't quote me on the dates, I'm old. But remember when Kami's Lookout got hijacked by Garlic Jr.? He came back from the dead zone, you guys, and he didn't come back alone. He brought the Spice Boys with him. And remember, they were at the Kami's Lookout. They took it over. They handcuffed Mr. Popo and Kami, and they imprisoned them in some sort of glass thing, like a genie in a lamp or something. And then they had the black water mist, you guys, and they spread the black water mist all over the earth, and everybody became vampires, and only Gohan and fucking Piccolo were left. And Gohan had to beat up his mom. Remember that? She turned into a vampire. She tried to check this dude, and Gohan was like, ah! Remember, you guys? Well, anyway, long story short, guys, it was probably the Spice Boys who did it. It's not a big deal. Lookouts, they come and they go. It's not a problem. But watch out for that black water mist. Watch out for those Spice Boys. They'll get you, man, if you're not looking. They'll come and get you. In addition to the Spice Boys, I do have to give an honorable mention to those Sailor Scouts because, the Spice Boys, he used to come by and just fuck shit up. But the Sailor Scouts, man, they used to come by and actually help clean stuff up. You know what I'm saying? It was like Sailor Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Neptune. They were all there, dude. Whenever they showed up, they would like come and sweep up the place and clean a little bit. One of the Sailor Scouts even left me like a nice tool patch. I remember you guys, so once again, I'm not saying it's everybody, but I'm just saying, gotta watch out for those Spice Boys. And hey, man, give those Sailor Scouts a break. They actually help clean up the place.